Are you in tight?
Oh, well, well, we got,
I'm not in the picture, right?
Oh, you know what I want to do real quick?
I want to introduce Dad here in case anybody doesn't know who this gentleman is. This is our wonderful father. I'm out to visit his kids in California from January 2004. And he's been telling us all kinds of stories, and we decided to put a couple of them on tape. So, you're on, big guy.
Fine, thank you very much. Well, I thought one of the things I should tell you boys about how life was when you're trying to grow up in a small town and have a father who was on the road traveling all the time. So we were under the auspices of our mother all the time, and as a result, she was always telling us, if you don't behave, your dad will be home, and when he comes home, I'll tell him, and he'll get the switches out for you. Well, naturally, we didn't want to be switched, obviously, so we would be on our best behavior when Dad got home. And we had a custom also that we kids would go to bed, and when we get up in the morning, we go down to our dining room, and in our dining room would be our Christmas tree, and if we had hung our stockings up before, we expected to have our stockings filled. Sometimes we put them in, sometimes we didn't.
Let me interrupt a second for the grandchildren in the family. They probably don't know what switches are. They probably think you're talking about light switches or something.
Switches. They were small branches that would cut off the trees outside that were very handy for giving you a whack. So, anyway, it was customary, as I was saying, that we'd go to bed and there would be nothing in the dining room except a tree that had been brought in that had not been decorated, just sitting there. We'd go to bed, and then the following morning, Christmas morning, we'd get up and we'd go down, and there would be a tree all decorated, our presents would all be there, and we were happy kids. This particular time, and Dad was home this weekend before Christmas, and he was saying that he was unhappy with us. He said, Mother has been telling him that we haven't been the best of kids. And I said, well, you know, Santa Claus won't like that very well. So, well, we don't know. I was about 6. My brother next to me was 4. And I'd be very honest with you, at that time I was at that stage where Santa Claus, I wasn't quite sure that there was such a thing as a Santa Claus, or whether that was just something else out there. But in any event, we hung our stockings up, as usual, by the fireplace. And then we tramped off up the stairs to go to bed, figured everything went. We'd get up in the morning, go down, we'd find Christmas there. Well, we went up, climbed into bed, we slept in a big double bed, and just about the time we were half asleep, I hear this thumping coming up the stairs. Get right up to the top of the stairs, and I hear this, ho, ho, ho. In walks Santa Claus into our bedroom. All red, fur all over, so forth. And he comes over and he looks at us, so you've been bad boys. And we're just laying there quivering, as it were, under the covers. So he has a switch on the back of his neck there, and he pulls it out and starts whacking us while we're laying there in the bed. And of course, we were all covered up. It wasn't hurting us, but scared us to death. And he was all whacking us back and forth, and oh, but so you boys better behave in the future. And boy, we're just so scared to death. We know, oh, okay, the Santa turns around and leaves. And we're laying there, so, oh my gosh, we won't ever have anything for Christmas. Well, we fell asleep, but we wanted to get up early. And we did. We woke up early, and the two of us, we come slipping down the stairways, down to the dining room where we would expect to find our Christmas. We walked down there, nothing there. A bare tree. Our stockings were hanging on the, with a couple of switches in them. We're the most demoralizing Christmas. Christmas. And about that time, our dear mother, who had followed us down the stairs, saw it behind us, and she went over to the living room door, which entered out into the same dining room area. She went into that room. Then all of a sudden she turned out to us and said, "Oh, look what's in here." We turned and walked into that living room, and there was the biggest Christmas we had ever had.
Sorry.
Here was a nice big tree, all decorated, presents all over the, and a bicycle for me.
Wow.
Oh man, this was Christmas. I've never anticipated anything like that before in my life. That is one of the most memorable Christmases I ever had. Believe me.
Wow, that's
That's a good one.
Okay?